In the relentless pursuit of prosperity and abundance, many of us encounter an invisible barrier that seems to block our progress: our very own mind. In a world where material success is often seen as the ultimate measure of happiness, one crucial question arises: what truly prevents us from achieving real prosperity? It's not the external challenges or economic difficulties, but the beliefs and thoughts we nurture within ourselves. A scarcity mindset, marked by fear and doubt, often traps us in a cycle of frustration. But there is a powerful alternative: the prosperous mindset. The concept of a prosperous mindset isn't merely about thinking positively or hoping that wealth will fall from the sky. It's about cultivating a vision of abundance, where financial, personal, and spiritual success becomes a natural consequence of our beliefs and actions. And for that to happen, it's essential to understand that our limiting beliefs, those that tell us we're not good enough, that life is a constant struggle, or that wealth is reserved for a few, need to be transformed. If you've ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, the results never seem to align with your desire for prosperity, know that you're not alone. Many of us carry internal blockages that prevent us from manifesting the abundance we seek. The good news? These blockages can be overcome. Science reveals that our minds have transformative power. Great thinkers like Joe Dispenza and Napoleon Hill have stated that our thoughts shape our reality. Neuroscience explains that reprogramming our minds is possible, and by doing so, we begin to alter our biology and consequently the reality around us. Therefore, prosperity isn't just a matter of luck or external circumstances. It's about aligning our minds with the flow of abundance the universe has to offer. A prosperous mindset is not just about optimism or wishing for abundance to appear out of nowhere. It's about aligning our inner world with the outer world of opportunities. It is a belief that prosperity is a natural state available to everyone, and that wealth is an expression of our inner values, actions, and mindset. But to truly unlock the power of a prosperous mindset, we must first understand what it means to live with a mindset of abundance and how it contrasts with a mindset of scarcity. At the core of a prosperous mindset is the belief that there is more than enough for everyone. This belief is grounded in the idea that the universe is abundant and that resources, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual, are limitless and ever-expanding. When you operate from a mindset of abundance, you naturally attract more of what you want, because you are aligned with the flow of prosperity. This doesn't mean that everything will always be easy or that you won't face challenges. Rather, it means you will approach those challenges with the belief that they are opportunities for growth and learning, not threats or obstacles. On the other hand, a scarcity mindset is rooted in fear and limitation. When we believe that there is not enough to go around, that success is limited, that opportunities are few, or that wealth is reserved for only a select few, we block the flow of abundance in our lives. This belief creates resistance and keeps us stuck in a cycle of lack, making it nearly impossible to manifest the wealth and prosperity we desire. People with a scarcity mindset often struggle with feelings of inadequacy, fear of failure, and a constant sense of being left out of life's abundance. The shift from a scarcity mindset to a prosperous mindset requires a fundamental change in how we perceive the world. It's not just about wishing for more, but about developing the belief that we are worthy of abundance and that wealth is a reflection of our inner state of being. This shift is not always easy, especially when we have spent years or even decades living with limiting beliefs. However, it is absolutely possible, and it all starts with recognizing the power of our thoughts. One of the most profound insights from neuroscience is the idea that our thoughts create our reality. As Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, the brain is highly malleable and capable of change, a concept known as neuroplasticity. This means that we are not prisoners of our past experiences or our current circumstances. Instead, we have the power to reprogram our minds and change the neural pathways that govern our beliefs and behaviors. By consistently thinking abundant, prosperous thoughts, we can begin to rewire our brains and create a new reality, one that aligns with the wealth and success we desire. The impact of beliefs on our success is profound. For instance, if you believe that money is hard to come by, that success requires struggle, or that you are not deserving of wealth, these beliefs will influence your actions and choices. Your decisions will be based on fear and scarcity, leading you to avoid opportunities. Stay in situations that don't serve you or sabotage your own success. This is the cycle that so many people find themselves in, often without even realizing it. However, the opposite is also true. When you shift your mindset to one of abundance, you start to see opportunities everywhere. You begin to take inspired action, guided by trust and belief that success is available to you. You no longer operate from fear, but from a place of faith and certainty that your dreams are achievable. You become more willing to take risks, invest in yourself, and pursue the path that leads to prosperity. This shift in mindset is not just a matter of positive thinking. It's about consciously choosing thoughts, beliefs, and actions that are aligned with your vision of success. When you believe that wealth is a natural and attainable part of your life, you begin to take the steps necessary to create it. You start making decisions based on abundance, and those decisions begin to manifest in your reality. The universe, as many spiritual teachings suggest, responds to the energy you put out, and when you put out the energy of abundance, you attract more of it. In practical terms, this means that you start focusing on what you want, rather than what you fear or lack. You begin to practice gratitude for the blessings in your life, no matter how small, and recognize that every step you take toward your goals is a step closer to creating the life you desire. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating a prosperous mindset, as it shifts your focus away from scarcity and helps you see the abundance already present in your life. To illustrate this, consider the stories of people who have transformed their lives by changing their mindset. Take the example of someone who grew up in poverty, surrounded by scarcity and lack, but who made the conscious decision to believe in abundance. By shifting their thoughts and beliefs, they started seeing new opportunities, making better decisions, and attracting positive circumstances. Their external reality changed, not because the world became magically easier, but because their internal world shifted first. They believed in the possibility of prosperity, and as a result, they began to experience it. The truth is, your thoughts are incredibly powerful. They shape the way you see the world, the way you make decisions, and the way you act. And when you choose to believe in abundance, you align yourself with the natural flow of prosperity. This is the essence of a prosperous mindset. It's not about waiting for things to change outside of you, but about creating change from within. At the heart of many people's struggles with prosperity lies an invisible force, energetic blocks. These are the mental, emotional, and spiritual barriers that prevent us from fully experiencing the abundance that is available to us. They are often formed by deeply ingrained beliefs, past traumas, or unresolved emotional issues, and they manifest in many ways, including self-doubt, fear, and a constant feeling of being stuck. To truly align with prosperity, it is crucial to recognize and clear these blocks, as they are the main obstacles to the free flow of abundance in our lives. Energetic blocks are not always obvious. They often operate in the subconscious, quietly influencing our behavior, decisions, and perceptions without us even realizing it. For example, someone who grew up in an environment of scarcity may carry the belief that money is scarce or hard to obtain, even if their external circumstances have changed. This belief, though unconscious, can block the flow of wealth and prevent them from fully stepping into their prosperity. These blocks often take the form of limiting beliefs, thoughts and beliefs that tell us we are not worthy, capable, or deserving of success and abundance. Limiting beliefs are powerful because they shape our reality. They can keep us playing small, avoiding opportunities, and self-sabotaging our efforts. If you've ever found yourself working hard but not seeing the results you desire, it's possible that an energetic block is holding you back. The first step in overcoming these blocks is awareness. The more we become aware of the beliefs and patterns that no longer serve us, the more control we have over them. Self-reflection is key here. Taking the time to look inward, ask ourselves difficult questions, and examine the root causes of our limiting beliefs is essential. It may be uncomfortable, but it is through this discomfort that we begin to uncover the hidden blocks that are preventing us from moving forward. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, spoke extensively about the importance of integrating the unconscious mind into our conscious awareness. He believed that the process of bringing unconscious beliefs and emotions into the light was the key to personal transformation. By acknowledging and integrating our shadow selves, the parts of ourselves that we have repressed or denied, we can begin to release the energy that keeps us stuck. This process is not always easy, but it is necessary for anyone seeking to create lasting change in their lives. One of the most powerful ways to begin clearing energetic blocks is through conscious, intentional healing practices. This can include meditation, journaling, affirmations, or working with a coach or therapist to uncover and transform limiting beliefs. Meditation, for instance, allows us to quiet the mind and connect with the deeper, more intuitive part of ourselves. In this space, we can receive insights into our subconscious beliefs and start the process of healing. In addition to meditation, affirmations can be an incredibly effective tool for reprogramming the subconscious mind. By repeating positive statements about abundance, wealth, and self-worth, we begin to rewire our brains to believe in the possibility of prosperity. This constant repetition helps to shift our energetic vibration and align it with the frequency of abundance. As Greg Braden, a prominent author and speaker, suggests, the way we speak to ourselves and the words we choose have a profound impact on our energy and reality. By consciously choosing words of empowerment, we begin to dismantle the old narratives of lack and limitation. Another powerful practice to release energetic blocks is through visualization. Visualization involves mentally imagining yourself living your desired life, experiencing success, abundance, and joy. This practice not only helps you become clear about what you want, but it also activates the energetic frequencies that align with that vision. When we visualize success, we send a message to our subconscious mind that this success is not only possible, but inevitable. It is also essential to understand that energetic blocks are often tied to unresolved emotions. Unhealed emotional wounds can create energy imbalances in our bodies, which over time manifest as blocks to prosperity. For instance, someone who has experienced financial hardship may associate money with stress or anxiety, and as a result, their body becomes tense or resistant to receiving wealth. Healing these emotional wounds requires patience and self-compassion. It's important to give yourself the time and space to heal, and to recognize that emotional healing is a journey, not a destination. One of the most transformative aspects of overcoming energetic blocks is learning to release the need for control. Often we hold on to our blocks because we feel that we must control every aspect of our lives in order to be successful. This need for control is a symptom of a scarcity mindset, where we believe that if we don't manage everything tightly, we will lose what we have. Letting go of this control is an essential part of allowing abundance to flow freely into our lives. Trusting the process and surrendering to the flow of life can be one of the most powerful steps in releasing blocks and inviting prosperity. Overcoming energetic blocks also requires cultivating a mindset of worthiness. Many of us struggle with feelings of inadequacy or fear that we don't deserve wealth and success. These feelings often stem from past experiences or conditioning, but they can be healed by recognizing that we are inherently worthy of prosperity. Self-love and self-compassion are key in this process. When we love and accept ourselves fully, we open the door to receiving all the abundance that life has to offer. It's important to remember that clearing energetic blocks is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. As we grow and evolve, new blocks may surface, and it's essential to continue working on our inner world in order to maintain a clear channel for abundance. However, the more we practice releasing these blocks, the easier it becomes to stay aligned with prosperity. As you move forward in your journey, take the time to regularly check in with yourself. Are there any old beliefs or emotions that need to be healed? Are there any energetic blocks that are holding you back? With awareness, compassion, and consistent effort, you can clear these blocks and step into a life of greater abundance and prosperity. In the modern world, we have a growing understanding of how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors shape our lives. The field of neuroscience has revealed profound insights into the connection between our brains and our ability to create prosperity. As we delve deeper into the science behind prosperity, it becomes clear that our brains are not fixed. They are adaptable, flexible, and capable of profound transformation. This concept, known as neuroplasticity, tells us that we are not bound by our past experiences or limitations. Our brains can be reprogrammed to support the creation of abundance, success, and prosperity in all areas of life. At the core of the neuroscience of prosperity is the understanding that our thoughts shape our reality. Every thought we have sends a signal to our brain, and those signals influence the neural pathways in our brain. Over time, these pathways become ingrained, creating habitual thought patterns that influence our actions, behaviors, and outcomes. If we repeatedly think thoughts of scarcity, fear, or self-doubt, our brain will reinforce those beliefs, making them seem like undeniable truths. However, if we choose to think thoughts of abundance, opportunity, and confidence, our brain will begin to rewire itself to align with these beliefs. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a leading neuroscientist and author, has spent years researching the connection between the brain and personal transformation. According to Dispenza, the key to changing our lives is to change our thinking. He explains that when we think a thought repeatedly, it creates a neural pattern in our brain. The more we think that thought, the stronger that pattern becomes, making it easier for us to think those same thoughts again in the future. This is why many people remain stuck in negative thought patterns, as their brains have become wired to think those thoughts automatically. The good news is that we have the power to change those patterns. By consciously choosing to think differently, we can begin to rewire our brains and shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that no matter how old we are, or how long we've been living with limiting beliefs, we can always create new patterns in our brains. This is incredibly empowering because it means that our past does not dictate our future. We can reprogram our brains to create the life we desire. To achieve this, we must first become aware of the thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that are holding us back, and then consciously choose new thoughts that align with our vision of prosperity. One of the key aspects of neuroplasticity is the concept of neural rewiring. When we choose to focus on thoughts of abundance, our brain begins to form new neural pathways that support those thoughts. Over time, these pathways become stronger and more automatic, making it easier for us to think and act in ways that are aligned with prosperity. This process is similar to learning a new skill or habit. At first, it may feel awkward or difficult, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Another important aspect of the neuroscience of prosperity is the role of emotions in shaping our reality. Emotions are powerful signals that communicate to our brain and body how we are experiencing the world. Positive emotions, such as gratitude, joy, and excitement, send signals to the brain that reinforce the belief in abundance. Negative emotions, such as fear, anger, and frustration, send signals that reinforce the belief in scarcity. The key is to learn how to cultivate positive emotions that align with a prosperous mindset. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional states for shifting our brain's focus toward abundance. When we practice gratitude, we activate the brain's reward centers, which release feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals not only make us feel good, but they also reinforce the belief that life is abundant and that we are deserving of prosperity. In contrast, when we focus on negative emotions, we trigger the release of stress hormones such as cortisol, which can create a state of fear and scarcity in our bodies. This is why it's so important to cultivate positive emotions, as they help to rewire our brains and reinforce the belief in abundance. The brain is also highly influenced by our environment. Our external circumstances, such as the people we surround ourselves with, the media we consume, and the experiences we have, all shape our beliefs and thought patterns. If we are constantly exposed to negative or limiting beliefs, it becomes much harder to cultivate a mindset of prosperity. This is why it's important to create an environment that supports your goals and aspirations. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Consume content that reinforces positive beliefs and create experiences that align with your vision of abundance. One of the most powerful tools for rewiring the brain is meditation. Meditation allows us to quiet the mind and connect with our deeper self, where the process of transformation can begin. Through meditation, we can access the subconscious mind and begin to reprogram the limiting beliefs that are stored there. Dr. Dispenza has conducted extensive research on the effects of meditation on the brain, and his findings show that regular meditation can significantly increase the brain's plasticity, making it easier to rewire our thought patterns and create new neural connections. Visualization is another powerful tool for reprogramming the brain. When we visualize ourselves living the life we desire, experiencing abundance, success, and prosperity, we activate the brain's neural pathways associated with those experiences. Visualization not only helps to clarify our goals and desires, but it also aligns our brain with the energetic frequency of abundance. By regularly visualizing success, we reinforce the belief that it is not only possible, but inevitable. It's important to remember that the brain is always listening to the thoughts we think and the emotions we feel. Our brains are constantly rewiring based on the signals we send. The more we consciously choose thoughts and emotions that align with abundance, the more our brains will reinforce those beliefs. Over time, this rewiring process becomes automatic, and we begin to experience a shift in our external reality as well. Prosperity is not just about material wealth. It's about aligning our entire being, mind, body, and spirit with the flow of abundance that is always available to us. There is a quiet truth that often goes unnoticed in conversations about abundance. Prosperity is not built in grand gestures, but in the subtle, consistent rituals that shape our inner landscape day after day. A prosperous life begins long before external success becomes visible. It begins in the invisible realm of thoughts, emotions, and intentional routines that gradually reorient the mind toward abundance. What we nurture daily becomes the architecture of our future, and it is in these small practices that we cultivate the soil where prosperity can truly grow. Every habit carries a frequency, an emotional undertone that either expands or contracts our sense of possibility. For many people, their daily habits are infused with urgency, stress, or a feeling of not being enough. They wake up and immediately enter a race against time, responsibilities, or fears that have accompanied them for years. This state of inner fragmentation quietly shapes their days and eventually their reality. Cultivating prosperity is not about outrunning these feelings, but about slowing down long enough to witness them, breathe through them, and choose a different rhythm for life. One of the most transformative practices in developing a prosperous mindset is the daily commitment to presence. Presence interrupts the autopilot that keeps us trapped in cycles of scarcity. When you pause and allow yourself to truly inhabit the current moment, you give space for clarity to emerge. This clarity is essential because prosperity requires direction, and direction only becomes visible when the mind is not clouded by noise. Presence reconnects you with your intuition, the quiet inner compass that leads you toward choices aligned with abundance. Gratitude is another foundational practice in cultivating prosperity. Not because it is a trendy concept, but because gratitude shifts the emotional frequency of the entire body. It brings your attention to what is already working, dissolving the illusion of lack. Neuroscience shows that gratitude activates brain regions associated with reward, emotional regulation, and motivation. Spiritually, gratitude opens the heart to receive, softening the tension created by worry and comparison. When practiced consistently, gratitude becomes a powerful reminder that abundance is already present, even in subtle forms, and that recognizing it creates a field where more can grow. Another profound practice involves conscious awareness of thoughts. The mind often drifts towards scenarios rooted in fear, unresolved memories, or imagined difficulties. These patterns can become so familiar that they feel like truth. But when you develop the discipline of observing your thoughts without immediately believing them, you begin to reclaim authority over your inner world. This awareness allows you to gently redirect your mind toward narratives of possibility rather than limitation. It is not about suppressing negative thoughts, but about understanding that they do not define you. Over time, this practice reconditions the subconscious, shifting your internal baseline from scarcity to abundance. Evening reflection holds equal importance in shaping a prosperous mindset. As the day comes to an end, the mind becomes naturally more introspective. This is a powerful moment to sit with what unfolded throughout the day. Reflection helps integrate lessons, release emotional residue, and reinforce the choices aligned with your greater vision. When you acknowledge your progress, however small, you affirm your direction. Prosperity is strengthened not just in action, but in conscious integration. Another valuable daily practice is the intentional creation of stillness. Stillness is not simply the absence of movement. It is the space where your energy reorganizes itself. A few minutes of silence in the morning, during a walk, or before sleep can bring immense clarity. This stillness becomes a sacred space where the noise of the world cannot reach you. where your nervous system resets, and where new insights rise naturally from within. Many spiritual traditions honor stillness as a gateway to wisdom, and modern neuroscience echoes this ancient truth by showing its profound impact on mental and emotional well-being. Embodiment is also essential in the cultivation of prosperity. Prosperity is not only a mental process, it is also a physical experience. The body stores memories, emotions, and energetic patterns that influence how we perceive the world. Simple embodied practices, breathing deeply, stretching, walking mindfully, or placing a hand on the heart during moments of stress, help regulate the nervous system, creating a physiological environment that supports abundant thinking. When the body feels safe, the mind becomes more capable of imagining expansive possibilities. Another cornerstone in cultivating prosperity is nurturing meaningful connections. The people we interact with influence our emotional landscape more than we realize. Conversations filled with fear, comparison, or negativity can slowly drain our energy and reinforce limiting beliefs. In contrast, connections rooted in support, inspiration, and authenticity elevate our frequency. Choosing environments and relationships that nourish the spirit is a daily practice of honoring your future self. Prosperity thrives where the heart feels supported. Reflection on purpose is also vital. Many people move through life without pausing to reconnect with the deeper why behind their actions. When your daily activities are aligned with a sense of meaning, you naturally cultivate prosperity because you operate from an inner source of fulfillment rather than external pressure. Purpose infuses each task with intention, and intention amplifies the energy you bring into the world. Even simple actions can become powerful when they are aligned with a meaningful vision. Lastly, one of the most transformative daily practices is the cultivation of self-trust. Many individuals struggle with prosperity not because they are incapable, but because they doubt their ability to navigate uncertainty. Self-trust grows when you consistently show up for yourself, honor your boundaries, and recognize your progress. It is strengthened when you allow yourself to take small steps forward, even when fear whispers that you are not ready. Over time, self-trust becomes an inner sanctuary, a foundation from which abundance can flow freely. The true essence of cultivating prosperity lies not in perfection, but in presence, intention, and consistent inner alignment. Prosperity is not a destination, but a relationship, one that deepens every time you choose thoughts, emotions, and actions that honor your worth and your vision. When these daily practices become part of your life, you begin to embody abundance from the inside out, allowing prosperity to move toward you with greater ease. Prosperity begins as a quiet shift within, a gentle reorientation of the inner compass that guides us toward a life of greater meaning, clarity, and abundance. Throughout this journey, we have explored the profound relationship between the mind, energy, and daily practices that shape our ability to create wealth in all its forms: financial, emotional, and spiritual. What becomes clear is that prosperity is never the result of chance or external circumstances alone. It is the outcome of an internal alignment that honors our deepest truths. When we become aware of our beliefs, heal the energetic blocks we carry, rewire the subconscious patterns that once held us back, and nurture rituals that anchor us in presence and gratitude, we begin to unlock a flow of abundance that feels both natural and deeply aligned with who we are. The teachings of thinkers like Joe Dispenza and Neville Goddard remind us that our inner world is not separate from the world we experience. Every thought, emotion, and intention becomes a seed planted in the fertile ground of the subconscious mind. When these seeds are nurtured with awareness and vision, they eventually manifest as opportunities, connections, and experiences that mirror our inner transformation. Prosperity, then, becomes less about effort and more about resonance, aligning our frequency with the life we wish to create. This path is not always linear. There will be days when old fears resurface, or when doubts cloud the clarity of your intentions. Yet these moments are not signs of failure. They are invitations to deepen your commitment to inner work. When you return to presence, when you ground yourself in gratitude, when you choose thoughts that honor your worth, you step once again into the current of abundance that is always available. Your life expands in the direction of your attention. When you choose to give your attention to abundance rather than lack, to possibility rather than limitation, you open the door to a new reality. You become the co-creator of a life shaped not by fear, but by intention, meaning, and deep inner prosperity. Before you leave, ask yourself with total honesty, what belief, fear, or energetic pattern are you finally ready to release so that prosperity can flow into your life without resistance? If this message touched you, support this space by subscribing to the channel. Your presence here helps expand a community devoted to transformation and conscious creation. And do not stop your journey now. Continue watching the video on your screen. It holds the next step in your awakening, the next insight that your spirit has been waiting to receive.